folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2020 Crossroads Zinger 290KB. This is a great bunk model. You see, you have the big super slide, helping to really open up this main living space. And we have 4 bunks in the back, meaning that you can sleep plenty of people in here. If we take a look at the kitchen, you'll see it is an L-shaped kitchen. You have a very large single bowl sink, so that way you can actually fit some larger dishes in here. And you have a high-rise pull-out faucet, which does make washing and rinsing those dishes much easier. If we drop down underneath, I'll show you the storage right up front. You'll see you have a great storage there for your pots and pans, as well as 3 full extension ball bearing drawers for your flatware. The bottom one's a little bit deeper for some of your bigger utensils. And you also have access to this area right up front. You'll see the door is located there. Speaking of the countertop space, this is a great spot for your coffee maker, as you do have electrical outlet here. This switch, this one runs on 30 amps, so you can switch between the AC and the fireplace. Most people don't want both of those on at the same time, so it makes sense to kind of switch between those two. Finishing off our countertop, you'll see the recessed 3-burner cooktop. This just folds up and back like so to access those 3 burners. You see the knobs right up front, those do light up. And you have the oven underneath. Also, you have a very decorative backsplash here. Not sure how easy it would be to clean, doesn't feel too bad, but it definitely is a pretty backsplash. I think they did a good job as far as the aesthetic piece of it. You will see the hood right up top, microwave, storage going across the top there. And then lastly in the kitchen, right over here to this side, is the Dometic fridge freezer combo. You'll see there's plenty of space in here. This one does run off both propane and electric and has automatic switchover. You will also see these stainless looking panels right there on the front. If you take a quick look at the ceiling, you will see the ducted AC unit. It does have the quick dump here on both sides, so that way if you're loading and unloading the trailer, you can open that up and it cools it off nice and quickly here in that main living area. Close it off to have it duct throughout the rest of the RV. The thermostat is located right here on the wall. This does control both your heat as well as the AC. And the bathroom is tucked away right back here. I'll go ahead and sit down. So just to give you an idea of space, I'm 6 foot tall, and to be quite honest, this is a little tight. Mainly in the side, I mean, you can kind of make your way back here. If you want to lean back, I guess you have a little more shoulder space, but you know, if you sit forward, it's a little tight between the wall and the countertop. Also, you'll see that my feet are touching the tub, so it's just not a ton of space in here, but you can definitely make it work. You just don't want to spend a lot of time, which may be a good thing, right? My wife would be happy about that. If you take a look underneath the sink, you'll see plenty of storage there. Also some additional space here. Countertop comes all the way to the wall. Electrical outlet. You have the mirrored medicine cabinet right up top there. And over to this side is the tub shower. Now, in a bunk model, a tub makes sense to me because that way you can give the kids a bath if you need to, if they're small enough. Also, though, you'll see the curtain has a much better shot of staying in the threshold there in that tub wall. That way you're not spilling water all over. You have a shelf behind me, also the hand wand, make it easier to wash off. The skylight spans a pretty good space up here, and at 6 foot, I do have plenty of room. So you can probably even be 6'2", maybe 6'3" if you stand right in the center without having to duck down there in the shower. So that is pretty nice. Another thing I did forget to mention, that, folks, the toilet is a porcelain bowl. So even though there's not a ton of space on it, the fact it's porcelain is great because it is much easier to keep clean. As we make our way to the back, this is the quad bunk. 300-pound weight capacity on the bunk. So so if you need adults to sleep on here, these beds can accommodate them. You have lights both in the top and bottom, as you can see. Electrical outlet too, in case you need to plug in any kind of cell phones or tablets. Storage underneath, which I do like that. And then you will also see right in the back, you have some additional storage for clothes there. If you want a TV, they did put a backer in the wall. They put a sticker so you know where to mount it. Connections for that up top here too. Over to the other side, this bunk does fold up and lock in place. Even though it's a folding bunk, it is still 300-pound weight capacity, which is great. Directly underneath is your dinette. So this gives you a spot where, you know, the kids can just kind of sit, hang out, maybe have a meal. And that also does drop down into a bed, giving you the 4th bunk for the additional sleeping space. Right out to the, back out into the main living area. So you kind of have a couple options here. You can use this as a linen closet if you want, or if you have overflow from the kids' room, because, you know, you may have 4 kids that are sleeping back there. You can use that for clothes storage as well. As I previously mentioned when we started this video, this unit does have a super slide. So you have the big U-shaped dinette. That way 3 or 4 of you can sit here at the table, be able to enjoy a meal together. Also, that does drop down into a bed, so if you need a space for an adult to sleep, if the bunks are all taken, this is a good option. You will also see the USB outlet in between the two, again, in case you need to charge any electronics. And there is fairly easy access storage as the doors on the side swing open just like so. You will also notice the Jackknife Sofa. So this does drop down into a bed, but not a huge bed. Mainly it's built more for children. The great thing about a Jackknife Sofa though is all the storage you get underneath. So it gives you a really big storage space. The armrests here, these guys are removable if you need to take them out. The cushions here come right out. Otherwise, I am glad they have them. They're a little bit taller than most, so they are actually usable. And that way you can get a view to the TV. Now, presumably, you'd have this TV on an arm mount, completely up to you. But one of the things I do like about this, they didn't box this in, meaning you can have a larger TV than a lot of other RVs will allow you. You can see a little bit of storage up top there. It does come with the sound bar underneath. That is Bluetooth capable as well. You have a little bit of space here and then a fireplace too. Now, a lot of people, if they're not used to the RV world and they see a fireplace, they think it's overkill. But the great thing about a fireplace is that is basically a big electric space heater. So if you're at a campground and you don't want to use your propane, you can just turn this fireplace on. It will do a decent job of taking the chill off in this main living area. To make our way into the master bedroom, you'll see the queen bed here in the center. On both sides, you have large nightstands with electrical outlets. The one side has dual USB port there as well, so you can plug in cell phones. And directly up above, you will see the wardrobe space with a hanging rod, as well as a shelf connecting the two, and kind of the shiplap look along the back wall there. Also, for additional storage, you will see that you have strut-assisted storage here right underneath the bed. And lastly, if you want a TV in the bedroom, they did put a backer in the wall so you can mount it right here, and the appropriate connections for that are right up on the ceiling. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the 2020 Crossroads Zinger 290KB. Right up front here is a power tongue jack, making it a lot easier to hook up and disconnect from your tow vehicle. You also have a light for added visibility at night and a manual override in the rare event the motor does fail. Right behind that, you have two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover, rails here for your battery, and you will see mounted into the frame is solar prep. So if you want solar, simply buy portable panels, plug it in right there, and it'll trickle charge your battery. You'll notice the black diamond plating on the front comes up pretty high, really helping to protect the front end from rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And you have the smooth aluminum front, which is not only more aesthetically pleasing, but it's also easier to clean. And seeing as how the majority of your bugs are going to get smashed right on the front there, anything that makes it easier is always a bonus in my book. Coming around to the side, we'll open up the pass-through. And if you take a look in there, you will see that it is quite spacious. So if you have larger items, like some of your bigger chairs, things like that, you are able to fit them in here, no problem. A lot of times a pass-through would stop here or even a little bit shorter, but you can see it even goes beyond the doorway, really opening up that space. Carefree of Colorado power awning, touch a button to roll that out, same thing to go right back in, and an LED light strip there underneath. What you'll notice is it doesn't matter if the power awning is completely retracted, partially extended, or fully extended, you can still use that LED light strip. You'll notice also the MORride step above step system. It's a wonderful step system, very solid. You can see I'm over 200 pounds. I can kind of run up and down here. The steps don't flex. They don't have that springboard effect. Also, you have aluminum treads which aren't going to rust with the grip tape for added traction in case it's wet, and the larger foldable grab handle here which makes it easier and gives you more control when entering the RV. Kind of popping back up a little bit, you will see the two outside speakers. Those are controlled by that multimedia center inside, but again, as I mentioned, that unit, it actually is controlled by that sound bar. That unit is Bluetooth capable. Right here is your freshwater fill, so if you're going somewhere and you want to bring water with you because you don't have city water, that will be the place to fill it up at. If you want an outside TV, here are your connections. You'll see the electrical outlet as well as the cable outlet. Black tank flush is located here in the back. That way you don't have to stick a hose down your black tank to wash it out. Also underneath, you do have a fully enclosed and insulated underbelly, which will help keep out the road grime, hopefully some of the critters in the off season, and also it'll help keep things a little bit warmer in the colder season. Taking a look at the very back, this one does have the outside kitchen, so good storage right up top. You have your pull-out sink here. It's a wash basin, so it fills up with water. You take it, dump it, put it right back, nice and simple. And also Your 2-burner cooktop, in case you do want to do a little bit of cooking out here. That, of course, connects to a propane quick connect underneath. And my favorite part, the refrigerator there is right over to the side, so it gives you a great spot to store any condiments as well as some beverages. Here in the very back, you'll see the square tubular bumper. Now, it does come with end caps. That way you have a great spot in which you can store your sewer hose. And mounted to that is your spare tire, which is a wonderful spot to have it because that way you don't have to crawl underneath to access it. Outside shower with hot and cold water there. City water inlet right down underneath. If you take a look up top, you will see this one has backup camera prep, which makes installing that backup camera much easier, meaning it'll save you money on labor. And if you look right down here, you'll see the cable inlet. Making our way just a tiny bit more forward, you will also see the 30 amp power cord is tucked away right here. Take that guy, plug it in, and you will have power to your RV. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is a 2020 Crossroads Zinger 290KB. If you're interested in this wonderful bunk model and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.